Good morning. Good morning. It is my honor to be here with you today and to see so many familiar as well as new faces. My name is Alice Jackson, and I am president of Xcel Energy Colorado and a member of the Colorado Succeeds Board of Trustees. Xcel Energy recently announced a bold vision to deliver 80% carbon-free electricity by 2030 and 100% carbon-free electricity by 2050. We are the first utility in the world to announce this ambitious goal, and we are proud to lead the world for a carbon-free future. We are confident with the technologies in place today that we can reach our 80% goal of carbon-free electricity by 2030, but we don't know quite yet the solution to achieve our 100% carbon-free goal by 2050. What we do know is that it will take innovative and transformational technology to make our 100% carbon-free goal possible. With strong STEM programs in our schools, the students of today will be the creators of that technology in the future. When Scott asked me to deliver the State of Succeeds this year, I was thrilled. The connection between Succeeds and Xcel Energy is clear, especially with both of us having bold visions for 2030. Last year, Xcel reinvested over $700,000 in STEM and workforce development strategies in Colorado alone. Like Colorado Succeeds, we at Xcel Energy see education and economic sustainability as mutually inclusive of one another, rather than separate, siloed strategies. Today, I get to emphasize our theory of action and the progress we've made as Succeeds to catalyze it through your collective support. I also get to validate your investment in our work. Colorado Succeeds serves as the entry point for business leaders who want to improve the learning experiences for Colorado's kids. Looking around, I'm encouraged by the momentum we're building in drawing more leaders to our coalition. At this meeting last year, we unveiled our Vision 2030 framework, which serves as our North Star and informs how together we can build lifelong learners prepared for the dynamic workforce ahead of them. As you heard from John, Vision 2030 is our plan for prioritizing a culture of agility in public education. At its core, our work is focused on 4 things: creating agile learners, agile educators, agile systems, and the conditions that enable these 3 areas to be successful. And over the last 12 months, we engaged with hundreds of stakeholders to find ways we could move agility forward and learn from leaders in the field. First, we began with a landscape analysis to identify and understand the high-quality programs and student experiences in Colorado that are developing agile learners. Through this research, we built definitions of success, identified proof points, and opportunities for impact. Next, we worked alongside diverse stakeholders from across Colorado through the Education Leadership Council to build agility into the state's vision and strategic plan for improving education in Colorado. And we couldn't be more pleased to have secured Governor Polis's commitment to building on that work. We also worked with over 150 education, business, and government partners to create the Colorado Roadmap to Work-Based Learning, a web-based tool to support the expansion and development of high-quality career exploration and pathway opportunities. We took the roadmap on a roadshow, connecting employers and educators to ideas, resources, and one another. And we convened a roundtable of a dozen local philanthropists from both corporations and private foundations to identify what it could look like to proactively coordinate and align funding to this vision of agility in the near, mid, and long term. This enabled us to establish clear outcome targets for the creation of agile learners, educators, and systems. All this work also informed our agility advocacy agenda, which gives life to Vision 2030 through tangible policy strategies that Colorado Succeeds will continue to research, develop, and share going forward. This agenda is designed to transform the accessibility and value of post-secondary pathways in Colorado, which we know are critical to a student's future success. The result of these activities is in the report that you find on your table in front of you. We call it Agility Explained, and it is an evolution of how we are working each day to achieve our Vision 2030. It provides much more detail than I have time to share with you today about how we are advancing agility, and it outlines an evolved perspective of our work. To provide just a brief snapshot of what this looks like, we see our work falling into 3 core strategies that build on one another to create a continuous feedback loop to encourage iteration in nimble and agile ways. First, we use public policy as a lever to remove barriers to innovation and education and incentivize promising practices. We advocate for system changes that give schools and families the flexibility and freedom to experiment with new models and approaches to learning. We ensure accountability and autonomy are 2 sides of the same coin. Second, we put these policies into practice by working with education early adopters who take advantage of these windows of opportunity and help inform the value of these policies and continued barriers. Despite our best intentions, we know that all policy has unintended consequences, and so by creating partners in practice, we develop a deep understanding of policy impact and nuance the path forward for communities, students, and educators. And finally, we then walk the walk and supercharge these efforts through the infusion of philanthropy to collaboratively invest in communities that bring together educators and industry to integrate their education and economic development strategies. Through increased coordination and communication, we can leverage dollars from Colorado Succeeds members against private philanthropists and the state's general fund to create a synergistic approach to funding innovation at scale. Simply put, we remove barriers through public policy, work with early adopters to create partnerships, and then work with philanthropists to make sure early adopters have resources they need to succeed. The role of Colorado Succeeds has never been clearer or more exciting. We are business leaders representing industry in all 64 counties of Colorado, and it is a privilege to be here among other premier corporate partners like Lockheed Martin, Ball, and Boeing. Together, we are all Colorado Succeeds, and we are building a movement to make sure all kids have a chance to achieve their greatest potential. With that, it is my great honor to introduce one of the foremost national leaders in creating agility in education, Tom Vander Ark. As the CEO of Getting Smart, a learning design firm, Tom advises school districts and networks, education foundations and funders, and impact organizations on the path forward. A prolific writer and speaker, Tom is the author of several books and countless articles. He writes regularly for Education Week and Forbes. Previously, Tom served as the first executive director of education for the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, served as a public school superintendent in Washington State, and has extensive private sector experience. Tom co-founded the first education venture fund, Learn Capital, and is a graduate of both the Colorado School of Mines and the University of Denver. Please join me in welcoming National Advocate for Innovations in Teaching and Learning, Tom Vander Ark.